Good morning, Tigers. Welcome to week 35. This week, our schedule will remain the same. You know you have must-dos, choose to do, and aspire to do's on your tracker. Your must-dos for reading every single day during Foundations lesson and reading rotations are Foundations. You're here now, so you got a good start. Read Works on Monday and Tuesday, and Reading Progress on Wednesday and Thursday. Followed by the third thing in reading is iStation. Some of you are going to be finishing your assignments. The rest of you, great job in finishing your assignments. You will log in and go to your normal activities in iStation. Remember, our goal is to get to those writing rules section, and I think that unlocks at cycle 14. You're almost there, Tigers, so stay focused. Let's get started on today's activity, shall we? Hello, Tigers. This is still week 35, and you've made it to activity 3. For today's lesson, you will not need your Foundations notebook or your writing tool. We are going to revisit a couple things that I've seen we're doing a little shaky on. So we're going to revisit some concepts today and refine the way we blend to write by syllables in our multi-syllable read it strategies. All right, so let's check out what we're going to do. You will not need your Foundations notebook today. Remember, you will not need your Foundations notebook today for this lesson. Your work will be done in Seesaw, and I'll explain it in a moment. All right? Let's see what we have in store. So now we're going to look at an example of exactly what you should do and a student actually doing this. All right? So we're going to watch just a quick clip, and then today in your Seesaw Foundations journal, you're going to see a list of words. We are going to practice multi-syllable read it a lot with math, science, social studies, and technology words this week. All right? So let's look and see what happens.
Before moving on to the next word, however, encourage your student to write the word that says each chunk. This is a subtle but significant change in our previous approach with Read It. We no longer want our young reader to write by segmenting individual sounds. For instance, we don't want the word important to be written or t. Rather, we want her to just write it by chunks. Important. See how it all fits together in these examples of an initial lesson in multi-syllable Read It. I'm going to write a word, and you're going to read it in chunks or groups of sounds. So this is the first chunk or group of sounds, and this is the second chunk or group of sounds. So let's first try that first chunk. Yes, it could be, but what else could this be? That's right, put it together. Good. And then this chunk by itself? Good. Now put the two chunks together.
Simple.
Was that simple?
Mm-hmm.
You did it. Okay, so you said blue. So now, when you write this time, instead of saying like you've done before, because we're doing two chunk words, I want you to write a chunk of sounds as you say them, all connected.
You're going to see in your Seesaw journal that you have a word that's broken down into chunks, and you are going to blend to write each chunk on the line, and then at the end you're going to read the word together. All right, so you're going to be doing that, but not with markers on the paper. You're going to be doing that in your Seesaw journal. All right?
So you'd write simple. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and write sim and say the sounds as you do it.
Simple.
Very nice. Now let's erase it in chunks. We're going to start over here and say, you can use this eraser and I'll use, you do yours and I'll do mine. Sit. So, let's look at that first chunk.
Just one more quick example.
Pete.
Very close, but don't forget this.
Complete.
That's right. Put the first chunk back in.
Complete.
And the word is?
Complete.
What does that mean?
I have complete my test.
You have completed your test. Very good. Okay.
So defining the
Now
words
remember,
is using them in a sentence
word complete in chunks and say them.
to show you know what they mean.
Complete.
Well done.
So I wanted to show you that mainly so you can see a student how it's helping her to blend to read by chunks. We've been doing this a lot, but I wanted you to see it in action with a student so you can get a feel for it, all right? So today in your seesaw activity, let's see what you will do, all right? Okay, so in your seesaw activity, immediately after you watch this video, you are going to head over and you are going to see this page. Remember I said we're going to do multi-syllable read it using math words and science words and social studies words and all the words, because reading isn't a subject, it's a skill. So let's use our reading skill in math. In your seesaw journal, you're going to go over and you're going to see 3 columns. This says read by chunks. You will remember from the video we just watched that the student already had a word written in chunks, right? And she had to read by chunks. So the first thing you're going to do is blend to read the sounds in each chunk or in each syllable. So let's do this together. Read this first chunk with me. Num. Next chunk, burr. And the word is number. So then you are going to use the pencil or the thin marker in Seesaw, and you are going to write, blend as you write by chunk, just like the student in the video did. So you're going to say num. And it's going to take me a long time. I'm going to be out of breath because this pen, I don't write too fast with the mouse. So num, and then I write the next chunk, burr. Right? So I don't say each sound. I say num, burr as I'm writing number. All right? And you're going to do that for each list. Do not just write the words on the list because you won't learn them. All right? Remember, it's important that you read by chunks first, because if you don't know the word and you're just copying it, you are not writing by chunks. And in the directions it says blend to write by chunk in the second column. All right, so this is reading by chunk. This is writing by chunk. And then finally, you're going to read the word put back together. Before you draft your evidence today, you will read me these math words. And numbers pretty easy, but I guarantee the other ones are a little hard. Don't forget about this letter and when it makes the cedilla or the s sound. There are 2 sounds for this letter. In math, this letter is used a lot to make the s sound, but only if it's with remember that? So, good luck, my friends, and happy chunking.